right.
friends. And what has Jake Armerding been up to?
Well, I won't speak of myself in the third person. I think that's a terrible thing to do.
Well, Jake Armerding does this.
I've been out in Minneapolis, as I have been for the last year and a half or so. My wife is from Minnesota, and so we decided to move to Minnesota. I wanted to live with my wife, and she wanted to live there. So
that makes sense, because commuting would be a pain.
Well, what's funny is that I end up being, I was telling some people, I end up sort of being almost an extreme commuter, because I'll be back east every 4 or 5 weeks to play,
right.
Because I've built an audience here, and I just love the area. What's been surprising is how cool of a town Minneapolis has turned out to be. I never thought I would, A, live in the Midwest, and B, come to enjoy doing so. But I have. What's really roped me in has been the commitment, especially in Minneapolis, to local organic food, like going with the season, and trying to get vegetables that have as few chemicals on them as possible, and I always try to resist standing on a soapbox with all of it, but it's just it tastes so good. The food tastes so good, and along those same lines, stuff like really amazing coffee that is so local that the company only delivers by bike courier.
Wow.
Kind of a thing. Stuff like that. It seems to be very forward thinking as a town, and also culturally, it's like I haven't connected with a lot of other musicians that have made me musically excited yet. I know that they're there. I'm still sort of working my way into the scene. But what's amazing is that there really is a hunger culturally for music and art and theater in that town.
You could hook up with John Gorka. He lives up there.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And there's another guy, I'm forgetting his name, Cliff Eberhardt. Doesn't live there, but he's out there constantly.
Oh, really? Yeah, because he lives out in the western part of the state here.
Yes, exactly. But I ran into him at a festival out there, and he's like, I come out here every summer. I love this place. So he's out there, and he's great.
How was your first winter out in Minneapolis?
Well, I've done 2 winters now.
Oh, you have?
So I'm considered a veteran.
There's a great, I think it's in Minneapolis, the ice sculpture, like in the wintertime.
They really embrace it.
It's beautiful.
If there were one thing, it would just be that they would find some way of keeping the ice off the sidewalks, because I just like to walk. Mm-hmm. And you can't really walk all winter, because the ice, the water and the snow, the wintry mix, or whatever you call it, will come down and it'll freeze in these incredibly awkward ways that it's sort of death-defying to make it to the coffee shop, to get the coffee that's only brought by bike.
Of course.
So that'd be the one thing. But what's amazing is that it's, to me, being from the Northeast, it doesn't feel as cold out there because it's drier.
Oh, right.
Or maybe the humidity is different because it's like freshwater river humidity. Mm-hmm. But it'll be 0 degrees and the car will have a hard time starting, but it doesn't feel that cold to me.
No wind chill.
Exactly. Well, there's that, and there's just not as much water in the air. The same thing with like Arizona. If you go out to Arizona and it's 120 degrees, but it feels good. It feels kind of like you're baking instead of sautéing. It's really the amount of water in the air that affects how you feel.
Well, we're gonna have a podcast all about weather.
All right. I know.
But that's good. You're into it, though. That's fantastic.
Well, these are the things you think about when you sit around, in Minneapolis winter. You think, wow, there's not as much water in the air.
It's WUMB. I'm John Laurenti, joined by Jake Armerding. He's at Passing tonight with Mark Garoli, Kevin Gosa, Jesse Armerding, and also Fretful Porcupine opening up. Let's do another song.
All right. your sweet